Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Today I'm graced with the presence of Rebecca, aka Bex Coleman. Welcome, Bex.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you are one of our trainers after all, so you're more than welcome, of course. You've been training with us you've been, as a PT with us for, since January now? February, yeah, that was right. How are you finding it so far?
I'm loving it. Yeah. It's a cracking place to be.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
we just done a bit of team training earlier. How are you liking those?
Really good, except my brain has no blood in it at the minute. So I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, but
well, that's having a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's really good, yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, today we're having a bit of an insight about yourself, a little bit of a background, all about the favourite subject, of course, which is you.
Me!
So essentially, we'll get stuck into it. I think we're going to ask you a few questions and find out a bit more about you. First of all, how long have you been a personal trainer?
Since 2015, March, I think, 2015.
Oh yeah.
So a while.
Just over 7 years.
Yeah. I didn't really I got trained, and then I didn't really roll straight into it. Actually, I was still a pastry chef.
Oh yeah.
So I thought I'll supply my own demand and feed people up and then get them fit.
Now you're a personal trainer, aka me.
Yeah.
Here's a Friday treat.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, so you're PT since 2015, and you've obviously chief yoga instructor as well.
Chief, wow, promoted somewhere, yeah.
How long have you been doing the yoga for?
I trained as a yoga instructor back in 2018. I went to Bali, Nusa Lembongan, a really amazing retreat, and I actually did it for myself because I'm a very busy person and a go, and I needed something to rein that in and calm my life down, and learned so much in that intensive course, and figured it's too good not to share. And
find that it did the trick then, and kind of like slowing you down a little bit, I'll give you a bit of balance. Yeah,
it's the most life-changing experience of my life. I hit 30 while I was there as well, so it was like that sort of maybe what some people might call quarter-life crisis moment, where you think, I don't know where my life is going, it has no direction. And I felt like I found that direction there on the course, and that's actually where I met a lot of my Australian friends. It sparked the idea to come to Australia. So yeah, I've been doing that since 2018 and loved every second of it.
Yeah, I know, we definitely love having you take the sessions here, and obviously I enjoy personally your kind of like your knowledge and the way you do things, obviously with your mannerisms, and obviously the way you explain stuff. It's like, there's not many really good yoga instructors I've found. I've done a little bit here and there over the years, but with yourself, obviously, I do really enjoy it,
Thank you.
Praises.
I do try.
So you said you used to be a pastry chef before. Take me through what was up into 2015. How old were you? 2015, and then you were 28. Is that right?
Sounds right. Yeah.
Something like that. So
2015. No, I was younger than that.
Okay. So when you start from the beginning, so I can obviously detect a bit of an accent there.
Yeah.
So we might have to we can't actually do subtitles, but probably need subtitles because myself and you on a podcast is maybe not the best idea, but we'll have to maybe slow
it down a bit so people can understand.
Originally from where from?
Wales.
Whereabouts?
South Wales, a little place called Carmarthen. A little nugget of Wales which hold close to my heart, and I've lived there all my life, and I always thought I'd end up there for the rest of my life, and now I'm at the other side of the world. But I think like a lot of Brits who like to travel, and I've travelled to quite a lot of countries since leaving school and now, and very lucky to have been able to have that chance to travel around and explore, and it's taken me to different places to work, and it's just the most valuable experience, traveling and meeting people, and
it broadens the mind massively, doesn't it? There was some kind of personal development, I would say.
Massively, or if you'd known who I was when I was in school, I was the quietest, most shy, withdrawn person you'd ever imagine. If you told me then that I'd be talking in front of even one person, let alone groups of people, instructing through yoga, I'd have laughed and thought that was not me. So that's brought me out of my shell and turned me into the person I am now.
Yeah, you never know where you're going to be in the future, do you?
No.
Really, it's kind of like that's the exciting part about life, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, it's same for myself. Like, what, 15 years ago, I would never have thought I'd have been in Australia myself as well.
No.
So you know, it's a mad way you think you can be.
Yeah, and I'm such a home bird as well. Like, I've worked away, but I've never been away for that long. Probably the longest I've been away for is probably about 4 or 5 months, and then I've been drawn back home, and so this is the longest stint that I've had away from it. And yeah, so miss my family daily, but I do get to chat to them pretty much.
You chat to them daily? I know what you're talking about.
Daily.
FaceTime every
I do.
every day,
I
anyway.
have to. I'm like, the umbilical cord is very, very stretched right now. But yeah.
So obviously you went to school in Carmarthen.
Yeah.
After school, what did you do?
I went to university in Carmarthen as well, and then after university.
What did you study in uni?
Fine art painting.
Fine art painting.
I did.
Right, yeah.
Yes. So
artist as well.
Yes, I've been drawing all of my life, so that's my side passion. I tried to explore that as a career path after university, but it's a solitary job.
Yeah.
Obviously, so as much as I enjoy it, being a human being and being a social creature, I need to be around people. So it's more my side hobby now, and I use that as like a little pocket money in it.
Yeah, and I've seen some of the drawings that you've done. It's like really amazing life drawings.
Thank
it's
you.
like, you know, I think you've got a few people from our studio, haven't you, as well? You've
Yeah.
got a few people to
Yeah.
like dogs drawing or like
Yeah.
grandmother drawing or something.
Dogs, pets are very popular, especially around Christmas time. So yeah, pet portraits, people portraits, landscape paintings.
Yeah.
So I keep busy that way.
So you went to uni, did your artist stuff, what's it called again?
I was an artist for a
An
bit.
artist?
Yeah. Yeah. For about a year.
About a year, and then what happened after that?
I kind of rolled into and out of different jobs, but I landed a commie chef job in Carmarthen at a
What's
restaurant.
that mean, a commie chef?
Oh, commie chef is like the sort of like the foundation chef. So you're given like the difficult tasks of like scrubbing fish, shellfish, and doing the menial tasks for the chefs above you, and then you work your way up the ladder that way.
Okay.
And I worked my way up to sous chef, and then moved across then, because it's a very high turnover job. I moved across then into breads, pastries.
For fuck's sake. Because I think this fucking thing went off the phone.
Oh, what happened?
Because it disconnected from this.
Oh no. It's never straightforward, is
It
it?
fucking isn't. The last time I just looked then and it fucking gone off. You know, I don't think any of that did it?
Can you continue if it has recorded?
If it has recorded, we could just continue.
Oh, nice.
Put them together, but if it hasn't, then fucking I'll have to just see. It's so annoying, like, because we don't have Wi-Fi in here. I've got to do it off my phone, obviously. So if it disconnects, like, because it's on that.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
It's never straightforward.
Right. Just.
Welcome.
I moved across then into breads, pastries.
Yeah, so that's alright. We keep
Yeah,
going.
cool.
So you're talking about sous chef.
Yeah. I know where I
Technical glitch.
am. We're back.
We're back online.
Yeah.
So sous chef.
Yeah, sous chef to then pastry chef, and then worked in a patisserie in Cardiff. So I moved to Cardiff, lived with my brother and his partner for a couple of years, and then I ended up working for my friend then in like more closer to the border of England, still in Wales, in Mega, and worked in her bakery then for a year. And then I ended up moving to Malta to be
Oh really?
Yeah, randomly to be a 3-part job. So I was a chef there as well as personal trainer yoga instructor and what was the other job? Oh yeah, artist. So I was doing the.
You couldn't really get more diverse, could you?
Yeah.
Personal trainer, yoga, bakery,
Yeah.
chef.
They're all really
chef
creative.
and
So they're all,
artist,
yeah, similar
Yeah.
field. So that was like a beautiful job in Gozo in Malta. So I was there for a summer.
Yeah.
And then I ended up coming back, and I've just worked on loads of different jobs basically.
Yeah.
Then I wound up working then in another place in Carmarthen, back with a friend in a restaurant called The Warren,
Yeah.
and I was a pastry chef there for a couple of years, and then yeah, back and forth from a couple of places. Ended up then going to Nusa Lembongan to study as a yoga instructor, and then I hot-footed to my friend's gym, worked as a personal trainer and yoga instructor there, and time rolled on, and then I have come out here.
Yeah. And how long have you been over here now then?
I've been over here since September 2021, sorry, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possible.
From the future,
like
no.
Deja Vu, the movie.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm from the future.
Yeah, just
Terminator.
a hologram, yeah. So I've been here for a number
Well,
of
you're
months.
still fresh off the boat, really.
I am, yeah. It's been a whirlwind.
But you've definitely
Brought the weather with me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's been terrible. The
I
last few months,
know.
but you've obviously fitted in really well. Especially in our little community. But
Yeah, it's good.
you came over obviously with a partner,
I did, yes.
Arthur. And he is he's working over here as well, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
In the
He's an anaesthetist in Gosford Hospital.
Yeah.
So.
and obviously he's you're looking at some options in the future, aren't you?
Yeah. Plans are a bit up in the air at the moment. We don't know where we'll be. But essentially just enjoying our time
Yeah.
here and travelling around as much as we can, enjoying.
Yeah. Well,
Exploring.
since you've been here, you've had about 3 or 4 holidays.
Yeah, well, we're like, you got to. I mean, we're passing ships in the night at the minute with our jobs, so
Yeah.
we made a pact to work hard but play hard
Yeah.
as well, and just make sure we've got the time with each other.
Yeah, how good's that?
So yeah, we're keeping to that promise.
And you're a keen surfer, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, I'm trying to be. Yeah.
Oh, didn't you smash yourself the other week and you
Yeah.
bloody knock yourself out or something?
Yeah, well, I've had a few injuries, but it's worth it. It's
Yeah.
part of the learning curve.
Don't mind the old sharks and obviously.
Nah, they're fine. Shark marks, no. No, it's good fun, and it's something that we're progressing with over here as well. So that was one of
Yeah.
the draws to come to Australia, is the
Yeah.
outdoor lifestyle that you
Yeah.
get to have here, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, I know. There's definitely a lot of opportunities around.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're taking advantage of that, I suppose, as well. Especially with
Massively,
the
yes.
travelling. Now we can travel a bit more as well,
Yeah, it's all free now.
And obviously, a bit like myself, you're like a bit of a podcast as well, don't you?
Yeah, I love a podcast.
What's your sort of like your go-tos?
Oh, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to podcasts. I'll listen to, nerd and humour. I'll listen to a lot of science-based podcasts like Andrew Huberman, like the Huberman Lab, and Food Medic podcasts as well. Rich Roll, kind of sort of bettering your life, bettering your health, sort of life hacks sort of podcasts, and just my own knowledge, and to pass any knowledge that I learn on to other people as well, like clients in particular, and just helping myself to help others as well with whatever I learn. And
sounds like that's a bit of a value of yours, would you say, or like that's like you enjoy that?
Yeah, I love that, and then I pair that with just walking miles. Like all my friends back in the UK will know how far I walk, because I leave them endless voice notes while I walk as well, and I'm always walking. And
I'm just laughing because like you said earlier this morning, like you power walk, like a staunch, like proper,
I stop.
like.
I'm on a mission. When I walk, I get out of my way. I'm like a battering
It's like
ram.
you're walking like after
like
some
Terminator.
snippy sandwiches or something.
yeah, I know. I honestly feel like I'm about to, you know, hit someone, and
Yeah. Well, I say if that's time for yourself to kind of get in your own headspace.
Yeah,
and,
it's great.
fill your head with like some good stuff as well. It's
It's brilliant. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely you've obviously got a passion for learning there as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
Get
always
a
learning.
bit more information.
Yeah, my brain is swole every day.
No, you do love coming in with like some random stuff. Did you know like, how many muscles it makes to create a smile or something
Exactly,
like that?
or a single step. Yeah, I've already forgotten that fact, but yeah, little nuggets of information every day.
And you are definitely love the old quote of the week, don't you?
I do.
You've been posting a few of those up on the
Yeah.
community board in the studio.
It can be motivational.
What's the best one at the moment? Would you say?
Oh God, they're all great. I
There's
kind
one
of
there at the moment, isn't
yeah.
there?
The
What
one
is it?
today is one day or day one. You decide. I'm not actually sure if Paulo Coelho came up with it, but he definitely regurgitated it, and it's kind of followed on, which is
Yeah, it's stuck.
yeah, it's a really good way to sort of see if you're approaching a challenge, then it's always that question of when's the right time, and it's kind of like just jump straight in and go for it. Otherwise, you'll never know. So.
Like a bit of philosophy then.
Oh,
eh?
big fan of Stoicism. Yeah, I read a page every morning from Daily Stoic, which is a book, a page a day for every day of the year.
Yeah.
And it just fills my brain first thing in the morning with something to focus on, and it's just really good. They set the way. They've kind of like shone the light ahead of us, done all the hard work. Basically, all we gotta do is listen to them, and your life's pretty set. Really.
Cool. Sounds like you're enjoying it.
I love it, yeah. Kind of need it in my life. It's just, it's centering, it's really good. Yeah.
Who would you say in your life would be a role model? Who does anyone you look up to? Like maybe, I don't know, maybe whether it's personally or somebody that's, somebody you don't know maybe?
Yeah. Gosh, going back to the conversation earlier, Jim Carrey is probably one of them because because like laughter is really important in my life. Humor, I have to laugh every day. It's just really important. So I feel like that's one of my releases. So he's always made me laugh with his films. But in the latter sort of years now, he's very philosophical too. So he's got that great balance of
humor and wisdom.
So I would love to sit down with him and have a laugh and a deep, meaningful conversation with him. Like
I can imagine like sitting down with him, he'd be like really funny, but then all of a sudden it'd be like a sheet of paper across him, and it'd be like really
deep
serious. It's like some like really heavy kind of thing.
But not too intense because he has that humorous side. So I think he'd be great. There's loads of people, honestly, like Kevin Hart I really like as well, again for humor, but he's brilliant for motivation.
Anyone else close to your heart, would you say?
Close to my heart.
Anyone like closer, would you say, role model wise, or just more like people like that, would you say, for you?
Yeah, it's difficult.
People you look up to, that kind of thing. Or who and obviously you've mentioned a few people like the Huberman podcast and stuff that you enjoy.
Like this kind of people I adore my family and my friends as well, and they all have elements of being a role model in my life as well. That's why they're in my life. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. And as you say, when you say about having your wit and your humour, I'm exactly the same. But you gotta like a laugh a day to keep stuff away massively. Keeps you sane sometimes. Just that endorphin or kind of like that emotional response. When you do like a proper belly laugh.
Yeah.
And it is hard to kind of like find people I find that connect with really well. And I know we kind of do because we're from like the same sort of like country. I know Wales and England's different, but when you're kind of from the same sort of upbringing, it's sort of similar, I would say. But when you connect with somebody or you've got that humour,
you just have to laugh. You can't take life too seriously, and too many people do, and it's like, oh, we're not here for a long time. You just have to laugh and enjoy the ride, and
Well, I remember actually when I was looking to hire you and stuff, I was obviously doing my research on everyone, and I was like looking through your video on YouTube and stuff, and it's so well shot. It's like so well, and it actually didn't do yourself justice whatsoever. It was like
gosh, I cringe at them now, but they're a good starting point. You kind of just have to jump in. It's all because of COVID. I would never have done it if it wasn't for COVID, and I was a struggling yoga instructor PT, which obviously my career had been put on hold, and so I had to try and keep my feet in the game somehow. So you have to put yourself in a very awkward and uncomfortable position to keep going and not be overwhelmed by the struggle of trying to keep going. So it was horrible, but it was growth. And
exactly. All that growth is always when you feel uncomfortable, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only time growth can happen.
And what was it? I was going to say. What do you enjoy the most about being a personal trainer? Because I know when you were doing stuff back in Wales or in the UK, you kind of had a bit more older sort of style clientele.
Yeah.
You were saying a bit slower. I remember
Yeah.
you were saying. So when you came into our studio, it's a bit more kind of like intense.
more
Or the
energy.
style of training is very different, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did you find that transition?
I struggled if I'm honest, because it was a new sort of dynamic that I wasn't all that familiar with, because as a yoga instructor, I'm much slower, much more cautious, and very I think like I said, the energy was a bit more tame.
Yeah.
And I was doing low intensity sort of movements, but I love the energy. I thrive. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm quite hyperactive, so I do thrive in the energy. I can just it can just get carried away sometimes, and that's where I feel like, okay, don't put people in danger or something. But no, I know I've got the knowledge to sort of safely lead classes or clients through exercises. But that's been another sort of change in like my field of personal training and yoga teaching, and just adapting to new techniques. Like your ways, your methods have been really, really helpful to broaden my knowledge and expertise in the field. So it's just been really valuable. Any new experience is a learned experience, and you can only but learn and gain something from it that way.
Yeah, it just makes you so much more well-rounded. I think as well as like I myself like always learning about stuff, and there's other ways to do things, and obviously the more you kind of have that open mindset, the more you can attract that sort of stuff anyway. But
exactly.
Hopefully we can add to your repertoire and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so
already, yeah.
So what would you say? Couple of little quick fire questions.
I don't do quick. Bear with me.
What would you say to yourself if you? I know you're 34 now.
Yeah. Spring chicken.
34
years old.
Spring chicken still.
So what would you say to your 30-year-olds? So Georgia, when we were talking on the last podcast, she asked a really good question.
Yeah.
I kind of found it a little bit hard to answer, I suppose. But what would you give? What advice would you give to your 30-year-old self? I know it was only 4 years ago, but I think you've grown.
So when I hit 30, that was like crisis point. I say crisis point, I was actually in paradise. I was training as a yoga instructor. I was nearing the end. I think it was like 2 days before my final exam. And it was like I said, it was probably the best time of my life. But around that time, probably one of the most stressful times of my life as well. And just because of loss of direction, I didn't know where I was going, I didn't know what was going to happen next, I was kind of at a loss. So I'd probably tell myself to just trust that everything will work out, and that's quite often what a lot of people in their 20s need to be told as well, and just enjoy each day and don't take life too seriously, and just roll with the punches and go wherever feels right. And don't feel forced, don't feel pushed into a corner by societal's ideologies and where they dictate you should go or be, and just enjoy your life.
Yeah, listen to your gut as well. I think that's just a lot like I've learned myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you know that by making, like everyone always says, learn from your mistakes, and I always say fail fast as well. So then you're like, I should have listened to my gut in the first place.
Exactly.
Even the small stuff. Like,
I
bought a car recently, and it's cost me a fortune in repairs already. And I was on the edge of not buying it, and I should have listened to my gut. Yeah. And it's like, I'm sure you kind of can resonate with that sort of stuff as well a little bit.
Yeah. You just have to, just trust, and I kind of wish I'd known that, but I don't. I think looking back at it now, as stressful as that time was, I now know it has worked out, and it's no days without its challenges. Life would be incredibly boring if you didn't encounter these challenges and struggles, but it's just when they come about, it's just to remember that it will pass and good times come as well. So
what would you say then to somebody, to give your top piece of advice for somebody to kind of feel the best, maybe even look the best as well, somebody wants to be happy, what's your kind of for you, would you say is your key life tip or life hack or whatever you want to call it?
Something that I've struggled with personally is life comparison, either life comparison or body comparison. I think too many people fall into the category of comparing their life or how they feel they should be against other people. Like just realizing that you are your own person with your own journey, and like comparing your struggles or your successes with other people is just futile. It's just like you put yourself in that position. So like, don't compare. Like, comparison is the thief of joy, and that's like one of the best sayings I've ever taken from.
There's another quote for next week.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. There's another one. I love it. I can't remember who said that, but it is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
And when you realise that, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's so true. Yeah, that comparison is like, it's so hard sometimes not to do that.
Yeah.
And everyone is literally.
Everyone does it.
And you want to be like, different or better or grass is greener potentially as well.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's a really good piece of advice there. I always like to look at it like a bit like a roadmap. Imagine, do you remember the old A to Z?
Yeah.
Like maps.
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
I don't even know if they have that in Australia or not, but in the UK we had A to Z
God, you're
maps.
very big.
When I was like, I remember when I was a tradie, or as a plumber, gas fitter, like with no GPS, no sat navs and stuff at the time. It's literally on a A to Z map, looking at the map. So through life, I always think you're on your own map, and you're going to be, there's forks and directions along the way, and different directions, whatever. But at the end of the day, everyone's kind of, you're going from A to B essentially. Yeah. But it's how you kind of get there.
Exactly. Carve your own path or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. Right, okay, so I think we're pretty much done, I think, Rebecca.
Oh yeah. My life in a nutshell. My life in 17 minutes.
Well, I think we had a break because we had a little technical hiccup because there's bloody things not working.
Technology's great.
I know. But like I say, thanks again for coming on and give us a bit more insight by yourself and a bit more value to give to people. That's what we're here for, and that's again by our little tagline for this podcast is it's not your average PT, so we're definitely not that, and like I say, you're definitely
I'm just not an average person.
I think yours would be not an average person. Slightly smaller and slightly more extravagant.
Slightly louder.
Slightly more Welsh.
Takes jokes a bit too far. Me.
That's what it's about though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright team, well I'll leave you to it anyway, and thanks for joining us, and look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Nice. That was cool.